Anybody else have another question? Do you want something embarrassing again?
Yeah, try to dig deep, man. Fucking
trying to embarrass you.
Yeah, make this a memorable night so that when you walk out of here, you don't go, I was at the shitty Harmontown. You go, I was at the one where fucking a pedophile tried to attack Dan. And then they wrestled each other to the ground, and then he took off the pedophile's mask.
He wasn't a pedophile. He just had a purple hat on.
Oh, that's not what I did. Oh, sorry, BJ. I wasn't referring to you.
Wow.
Jesus.
Terrible.
I saw a hand shoot up over there. Oh, that was BJ waving. Okay.
Anybody?
I'm not an underage child, BJ. Stop waving.
We got one back there. Yes.
What's the most embarrassing thing you did as a kid?
Most embarrassing thing you've done as a kid.
Aside from constantly shitting my pants, just constantly.
What do you mean constantly shitting your pants?
Just all the time, just always pooping my pants.
Is that a medical condition? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I didn't like to go to the bathroom, and
there's your problem.
You know, like when you're a kid, I don't know. I'm not going to try to put this off on you guys if you didn't have a similar experience. But when you're a kid and you're just learning to poop, but you're also learning to read.
Learning to poop.
And sometimes you're sitting there reading a book. Like I used to read, I'd just sit cross-legged on the floor and be reading a book, and then I'd feel like, I gotta take a shit.
Get up!
Get up! It's Asimov. I'm not gonna get up. I want to finish reading iRobot. It's amazing.
You're still gonna be seated when you read.
I didn't get that part. I didn't understand that. I just would shit my pants.
Wait, you're saying you were that into that book, or you're that lazy, or what's?
I don't really.
Maybe you just have a weird butt.
Maybe I have less muscle control. I don't know. Kids do. Kids shit their pants, man. You're acting like you're acting like they don't, and they do. Kids shit their pants.
I'm not just like playing like the foil to you right now. I've never heard of anyone that constantly shit their pants. Old people, not little people.
Do you remember that? Remember when we had Adam come up and read that email from my brother? Remember that?
Yes.
And he referred to a story that my mom told about how they used to put me in a closet when I was a kid with books. That's a reference to when I was in kindergarten. I already knew how to read. And they wanted to know how well I could read, because I came into kindergarten, I can read. So this was in the 70s, it wasn't politically incorrect to like track kids and stuff. If they wanted to know who's smart, who's dumb, how smart are you, how smart can you be, and all this stuff. We later realized that's kind of a fucked up thing to do. But back then in the 70s, it was the Wild West. Everyone was looking for Meteor Man. And I could read, so they would take me. This lady, Miss Piano, would come and she would get me. All the kids would start playing with blocks and stuff, and then this beautiful. I remember it was beautiful and tall, but it was probably the third woman I'd ever seen, and I was 2 feet tall. So, and she would take me to this closet. It was like a storage closet filled with all these books and like overhead projectors and stuff. And then it's not like they could devote resources to that. So they would just sit there. So she would put a book in front of me and she'd go, read this chapter, then answer the questions at the end of it. Give me a piece of paper.
She would separate you from the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
Put you in a room.
It turned out to be a great idea.
You're like the Count of Monte Cristo in there.
Yeah. So the kids loved me for it. It was great because I would come back to recess and they'd be like, oh, whew, it's our hero. It's the... Please. We were just learning football. Let us catch you up on things. No, it was. I'm not complaining. I got to read a lot of dumb shit about nothing I can remember. But they would go, okay, and then fill out this thing after you finish reading it. But then she'd take off. So that just reminded me of that thing because I had to pee really bad, but I was in kindergarten. I never had gone pee without somebody helping me go pee before. And she told me when the bell rings, you can go to lunch. And for some reason, I knew what that meant, that I would be able to get up out of the chair and go to lunch. But she never came back, and I had to pee really bad, and I couldn't tell time. So I just knew I was waiting for this bell to ring so I could get up and go to lunch, and then maybe I could get someone to help me pee. But I just stared at this clock, and I never knew. And then I was just like, you know, if you've ever tried to hold your pee, like, and then when you're a little kid, your little bladder, it hasn't fought any dragons yet, you know? You haven't gone to your any frat parties or anything. Like it's just a little muscle, just like trying to hold in on those Flintstones vitamins and things. And And so I just stared at this mysterious circular dial, and then the bell never rang. And then I was just like, all right, here goes nothing. And I just pissed myself. And as I was pissing, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the same for women, but once you start, you can't just. It's not like a. It's not like a valve. It's like
Pringles.
Start and then it's like Pringles. It's a lot like Pringles.
Once you pop,
yeah. So at the apex of me relieving myself in my little Oshkosh Bagosh overalls with a little iron-on D on the front of them. For real, which I called my D pants. My mom made them out of red denim, and they had a little blue cornflower blue D, that little, and I called them my D pants, and I always wanted to wear them, and so these are what I'm pissing in, and the bell's ringing while and so now the bell rang, so now I can leave. So I just remember getting up and just looking back at this chair in the middle of a storage closet with a big puddle of piss around it, and kind of going like, well, fuck her, clean it up, clean up your mess. And then I went downstairs to lunch, and for some reason I thought that because it was in my pants, I thought that the semantics of peeing in your pants somehow applied to the privacy and the containment. I didn't understand yet that it's darker where all the pee is, and it looks like I just rode a horse made of spray paint. I'm just down in the lunch line, and I'm wearing my little red denim pants, and I just have a black saddle, whatever you'd call that. And I remember my brother was down there. My big brother is 5 years older, and he my brother's. It's important to have a big brother. Like, they can stick up for you to bullies and stuff like that. And so I came down to the lunch line, and my brother looked and went like, "Jesus Christ, did you piss your fucking pants?" And all the sixth graders were like, "Holy shit, he did." They were actually more embarrassed for me than my brother. My brother wanted to talk it out a little more.
Were you there at the Price is Right? When the woman peed her pants, you weren't there, right?
No, doesn't that happen every week?
Well, we were both friends with Drew Carey, and he just got the job, and I went to go see him. We haven't talked about this in the show before, have we? God damn it, it was so good. I went to go see Drew, and he's like, "Hey, come on down to Price is Right. I really love doing this job. It's really fun. Come down. I'm hosting this thing. It's like a big rock concert. It's great.
Keep talking. I'm gonna get a drink.
All right, Dan's gonna make a drink. And so, but you're right there in the thick of it, and it's pretty exciting. And if anyone's ever been to the to a taping of that, it's like going to a Beatles concert. People are so happy, and so people are screaming. It's really delightful. And you got the little yodely guy that goes up the thing.
God damn it, I love that fucker.
Yeah. So Dan was there, like, kind of bashful, like when you're getting your Plinko chips, and you're like, "Does a kitty litter cost $35? It costs $25." And Dan's like, "It costs $35. That's the kitty litter. I buy the same kitty litter." I'm like, "Yell it out." And Dan's like, no. She's looking at the audience like, "You have the same kitty litter." You yell it. "Hey, I don't know." You got really nervous about it. You're like, "35. And she gets it right. And it's like, it's exciting as shit.
Yeah.
So there's a woman that gets up there, and she, I don't know, I would maybe put her at 40-ish, and probably a mom, couple kids, and just a nice lady, got little mom jeans on, a little blouse, and she comes up and she's down in the contestants row, and I'm sitting right behind her, and I'm sitting with a bunch of Marines, and this woman, she's one of the first people called down. She's there from the very beginning, and from the get-go, she is losing her mind, but she's also holding her crotch in the pee-pee dance fashion. So she's doing like that, like she's happy as can be, but she's holding her pussy, like a little baby holds you hold your crotch when you think that can stop the flow, and it can't. But you do your best. It's mind over matter, and she's just smiling and happy. She overbids on the washer and dryer, and then they go up and do that. Then she overbids or underbids on the pool table, and then they go to commercial, and she's still there. And she now is like, every time she's still so happy to be up there, but now she's holding on for dear life, and front and back. So one around the front, one around the back.
She's worried that it's like whack-a-mole, that it's.
Yeah, it's like that. So the best game in the Price is Right universe is, of course, Plinko. And when Plinko comes out, it's like it's bedlam. People go mad, and first of all, you don't know. She bids, she wins, she comes up on stage, the curtain goes up, it's Plinko, and at that moment when she had come up on stage, I could see the little saddle of the spray paint horse pee-pee stain on the thing. She had wet herself. and she was still holding on to herself. She had let a little go. And the whole audience is like, Plinko! Whoa! No, sorry. She gets up on stage. She's one of the things. She hugs Drew. We see the pee. I'm now embracing two Marines. Like we're closing ranks. And then the Drew can't see it. The whole audience can see that she's pissed herself a little bit. Then the curtain goes up and Plinko comes out, and then it's fucking over. She just doesn't care. She's jumping about. She's just as happy as can be, and she's peed herself, and the whole audience is like, because you put yourself up on stage and like, oh baby, like you're you're on camera, and like your family, but she just doesn't care, so she becomes everybody's hero. And I believe you get 5 little chips, right? You get one for free, and then you get 4 bid prices and things like that. And she gets them all. She just nails them. That's 12, that's 14, that's 38. She just nails the clock radio. And she's got all of her chips. And only at that moment, because Drew Carey has to follow her up the staircase to ascend the heights of the Plinko.
Drew's the last one to know.
Yeah, Drew's the last one to know. Because Drew Drew's only been hosting the show for a few months, and he's kind of seen a lot of stuff go down. But clearly there's some other frisson in the air where it's like something else.
He's just going, why is this woman so focused and clear-headed?
Yeah, right.
It's as if she doesn't have anything left to care about other than getting prices right.
Also, the audience is in some weird kind of just like we're all just holding on to each other, and we just we just don't want her to be embarrassed. We don't want to see a woman realize what's going on and run off the stage, and we just don't want to see something terrible happen. So she gets up on stage and she beats Plinko's dick all around the fucking room. It's just fucking 10,000, 5,000, 10,000, 2,000. Like she just lights it up. And she won, I think, the second most money in Plinko history. And Drew was the last person up the stairs, and he finally figured out what was going on in the room. And he goes, all right, so-and-so, go up the stairs. Oh, boy. Because he was absolutely eye level with her pants. And he goes, okay, let's get you up here and facing the other direction. And he got it. And they took her backstage. I don't know if they gave her a new pair of pants or they gave her a hair dryer. But she came out, she won the fucking Showcase Showdown, and the entire building was chanting her name. Because, yeah. And I wish I could remember. I wouldn't repeat it. But God fucking bless you for peeing your pants and not caring. That's cool. None of us would do it. None of us would do it.